day 3 of Rise.Live, the official TV channel of ISE 2022. Hello, I'm Nadira Tudor.
And I am Rosie Tapner. Welcome.
As we know, ISE opened its doors at its new home here in Barcelona on Tuesday.
And Nadira and I have been busy talking to all those who are making this a fantastic event. We've been exploring the exhibition, testing out some of the latest tech, and going behind the scenes to bring you the latest news.
It's already been a jam-packed and brilliant few days. We've been chatting to keynote speakers, discussing the state of the industry, learning about the latest cutting-edge technology, and we still have so much more to come.
It's been an incredibly busy 2 days, and today we've managed to find out some of the many deals that are being announced here in Barcelona.
The Day 2 keynote was delivered on Wednesday evening by Alan Greenberg, the CEO and co-founder of Illuminarium. The title of his talk was Next Generation Immersive Entertainment. I asked him how people are driving this forward.
So an Illuminarium is a place that can take you any place. We generally create a 3,000 square meter venue with 9-meter high ceilings. And in that venue, we create experiences that take your breath away. And the idea behind Illuminarium is we help you manifest your dreams. An example, our first experience is a safari experience. About 98% of the people in the world have never been on a safari, but I'm guessing 98% of the people in the world would love to go on one. It's a dream. We have a new experience opening in about a month, which is called Space to the Moon and Beyond. And even fewer than 98% of the people in the world have been to space, have been on the moon, walking on the moon. We allow you to do that, and you'll actually leave footprints on the moon's surface, just like Neil Armstrong did in 1969. We do this through the power of technology, content, and scale. In an Illuminarium is the best projection systems in the world, the best sound systems in the world, an in-floor haptic system that creates kind of a rumble effect in your body. We have a sense system, and then in our ceilings, we have LiDAR that creates interactivity because it can track every single person in the Illuminarium venue. During my keynote address, I'm going to be talking about the business, content, and technology side of an Illuminarium, how we build it, how we create it, where we're going with it, which is hopefully around the world. I'll be joined by Brian Allen, our head of technology, who could really talk the talk deeply into the technology side as well. So we opened the world's first Illuminarium about a year ago in Atlanta. We just opened 2 weeks ago in Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world. We have leases signed in Chicago and Miami. We have a joint venture signed for Mexico City, working on one for Sao Paulo, and we're spending time really in Europe, Asia, all over the world. So we hope in the coming years there'll be 20 or more Illuminariums around the world.
The AVIXA Women's Council on Wednesday hosted a shared experience panel with inspirational individuals about the challenges they face and how the AV industry tackles gender imbalance. I caught up with them when they came off stage. Lovely to meet all of you, and look, I am surrounded by amazing women here. I'm going to start with you, Deborah, obviously, because you're at the end of this row. Let's talk about the summit and the panel that you've just been involved in. What was your focus?
I'm very, very proud to be on this panel. My focus is to create mentors and to encourage people to join the AV industry through inspiring women. And who could ask for more?
We in Germany, we have already started a new AVIXA group, the DACH group, and that's also the reason why we are here. We have the first meeting here tomorrow, and yeah, that's the reason, yeah, to find some new more mentors, role models, and inspiring women for the Bosch.
One of the most important things, though, is visibility. That's why the AVIXA Women's Council is so important. Groups like Women in Live Music, just having people see there are other people out there that are like you that are doing this thing. And I think that another thing that we can do is ask ourselves, if we don't have a role model, can we become one for someone else? Can we inspire someone? Can we lift them up so that they can be the best that they are? So if you don't have a role model, looking yourself to be one for someone else.
In my career, one of the most important things is the relationship with others. And I believe this is one of the areas where we as women, we are very, very, very good at. We know how to create networks and how to create relationships with others. And this industry is made of that. And maybe because we are lacking of a lot of women, we are missing of a lot of development in the industry.
Through this network, we are building the next generation of AV professionals, but education is the key to it. That's what makes inspiring individuals. You build your community, it can be within AVIXA, you build on your education, and then you become the mentors for all those people coming up. And that's how you do it. You do it with knowledge.
I am totally agree with Deborah. We need education, and we need education in all languages. That's something that is very important, and for me, this is one highlight, because everything is in English, but there are many languages, and there are people in this industry in many languages. And there, I believe we need to make us or show and give more visibility to our needs.
I think shows like this are so cool because they show all of the latest technology, bringing in, today's AV Career Day. They brought in so many students and they can show them all of the amazing technology on display. Second one is, I would say, empowerment. What can we do to tell these people this is something that you can do, especially women, but everyone that wants to get into the AV industry. And I think the third one is accessibility. What can we do? And then, accessibility has many, many different forms, whether it be cost, language, it's endless. But what can we do to make AV more accessible, the education about AV more accessible, and all of that, I think together will grow the industry in many ways.
Thank you all, ladies. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks.
One of the stands that is drawing some serious attention is Absen's immersive LED experience in Hall 3. I was lucky enough to go down there yesterday and experience the red woods in my red suit.
Jess, you've transformed us to a whole different world here.
I know, it's great. It's amazing to see a film set at ISE.
It's absolutely incredible. Now talk us through this, the whole setup.
So virtual production is a massive buzzword in the industry at the minute. We've actually brought that here. You've got different things. You've got XR stages for studios, for broadcast, but this is actually what we would say is a film set for those looking to create a film, or even interview videos, that type of thing, music videos.
So what I hadn't anticipated is the background is actually moving.
Yeah, so we work with some great collaborators. We've got Ari doing the cameras, we've got Stout doing camera tracking, we've got Brompton doing processing. We've created a whole studio.
So it's almost like I can actually walk through.
Yeah, and you'll see it on the screen. As the camera's moving, it'll do aspect ratio so it looks like you're moving with the scene. It's a much simpler process for editors. You haven't got all that post-production where you're having to edit simple things out. It's smoother for everyone involved, I think. Yeah.
It's unreal. Thank you for letting us be here.
You're more than welcome.
Time now for our news in brief.
Jabra's research has revealed that technology increases employee inclusion in hybrid work, with only 32% of employees strongly agreeing that their organisation provides them with the technology to collaborate equally and inclusively from anywhere. 37% of employees globally say they often feel left out of the conversation in hybrid meetings.
And 61% of employees say that they feel more included and present in meetings when everyone attending has their camera turned on.
Display and video conferencing specialists AVIXA have debuted the first products created through a strategic partnership with Google. The Google Meet series, One Desk 27 and Board 65 offer everyone meeting equity through shared devices for team meeting spaces. AVIXA hope the devices will revolutionize personal and team meetings.
DisplayNote, a collaborative technology company, celebrates its 10th anniversary at ISE 2022. The company is showcasing its launcher, montage and broadcast collaboration tools. And the residential market is showing massive growth And ISE co-owners Cydia have just published research that values the home technology industry, which now exceeds $20 billion.
Cydia's Senior Director of Technology and Standards, Walter Zebre, highlights where the market is heading.
The main thing that we have found that has happened is the approach for how systems are designed and how people should be doing work for people is what needs to change, and that's the major trend that needs to change.
ISE and its co-owners, AVIXA and Cydia, are incredibly proud of the legacy they've left in Amsterdam, even as they look forward to Barcelona. The Jeroen Pit House is a new children's transitional care unit in Amsterdam that supports chronically ill children and their families. Queen Maxima of the Netherlands officially opened the building on Wednesday. She met families and children and toured around the facilities. Emily von Kannebeek has been the force behind setting up the house and runs it.
The Jeroen Pit House is there to actually make sure that the child can leave the hospital the moment that the doctors thinks that it's safe to do so, and that in this home parents can be with their child and they can actually learn to take care of their child. They can catch their breath, and they can kind of get a grip on their whole life again before they actually head home to do it all by themselves. The Queen she will be there to do the official opening. At the moment there are 4 families staying with us, and slowly but surely the house is filling up, and we expect to have 7 or even 8 families quite soon. ISE's involvement has been very big, and we appreciate that very much. They have actually donated lots of the infrastructure, the electronic infrastructure. It might not be the proper word, but lots of the technical things that we have in the home has been donated by ISE and their partners and its partners, and they've actually also helped us. Design the home in that respect, to help think us they helped us to think about everything that we need there and what kind of appliances we need and how to install them. And that's been a very intense process, and it's taken up a lot of time of a lot of people, and we are very grateful for that, for the advice, but also for all the products that were donated to the Jeroen Pit House.
On Wednesday, ISE, AVIXA and Cydia hosted the AV Careers Day, looking for the engineers and technologists of tomorrow. I asked the students from across Spain and beyond about their impressions of the day.
So my day today at the Careers Days, it's been amazing. I've been in some conferences. I've heard about too many interesting things about technology in the AV industry. And it's been like a quite inspiring day.
So we had an amazing panel this morning on the AV talent panel from AVIXA, and learning about how people have been getting into their industry and how people kind of fall into AV. Not everyone has the most straightforward path.
The most I enjoyed this huge dome because, it's an awesome experience inside it. It's like in a movie theater, but upside down. And this whole area, it's bigger than I've expected.
Everything I've seen so far has opened my eyes really much, and it's such a great opportunity to connect with people and maybe even get a chance to apply for a job.
I am Rosie Tapner.
And I'm Nadira Tudor, and you're watching Rise.Live, the official TV channel of ISE 2022.
There are more than 800 exhibitors here at ISE 2022, showcasing the very latest products and solutions for the professional AV and residential markets. We spoke to a few to ask about the challenges their customers face.
Everyone is sharing what you did in the last 24 months, and for us it is about new products, new technologies. If you look at the show here in Barcelona, it is pretty much about mapping. We have mappings out there in the city, which are quite popular. We have an immersive art experience in Hall 2. And we do show several new products in projectors from Barco, Absen and Panasonic, the RQ25 the 2220 from Absen and the G100 from Barco, to give our customers and all the players in Europe the opportunity to have a view at the latest products. On LED side, we show this lovely screen behind me, which is an IMD LED screen with a 1.2 mil pixel pitch. It is called Venus, and it is a rental solution. And this is really new because so far the rental market used pixel pitches above 2 millimeter, and now there's a stronger demand below 2 millimeter.
There's been many things that have really changed, I think, after COVID for sure. I mean, the first thing we had to get used to is this hybrid working, hybrid learning, being half home, half office, half school, half universities in a way. Yeah, clearly the technology needed to follow that. It was a big change for the industry. Some of it we started to see already, but clearly COVID has actually accelerated that in order to make sure and hybrid platforms get rolled out. I think we still need to get used, I think, and in a quick way as well, the intelligence that sits around data. The examples I can give here at Sony is, for instance, when we go into meeting rooms, we got sensors now pretty much all over the place to say the capacity in rooms, what the temperature is, all done in a very automated level. So there's some very exciting trends happening in pretty much every sector and every application with customers. So in this industry, we need to keep up really, I think, with all of these trends and make sure we stay in the forefront to excite and inspire our customers.
One of the things that we did during the shutdown, because we couldn't travel, is we really focused on looking at our product range and what we thought or anticipated was going to happen after people have been in lockdown. Now, clearly, the lockdown lasted a lot longer than we expected, 2 years, 2.5 years. And I think we've guessed it quite right, and that is that people are going to come out of it, they're going to be hungry to get back into doing events, back into connecting with people, but they're also going to have to really watch and have a look at their budgets. So our product offerings really have taken that into account. We've really looked at what we can do to bring in new products that operate more cost effectively, but use a lot of the accessories that our customers have already bought.
The Influencer Lounge in Hall 2 is a hub for content creators, social media trendsetters and commentators. Each day, a different influencer hosts one of the series of meetups. Today, it was futurist, speaker and author Amelia Kallman.
So, hello, I am futurist Amelia Kallman. Good to see you guys. Nice to see you. Thank you. So as a futurist, it's my job to know about the latest new and coming technologies and their potential impact on the future of business as well as the future of our lives.
I am here with futurist and influencer Amelia Kallman, and what you've just spoken about is absolutely fascinating to me. What is it like to be a tech influencer?
I think it's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, it's a great industry, and I don't come from a technology background, and I think that means that I have a bit of a talent for making the complex accessible to people. And I really believe that tech is here to help us enhance our lives, and that it is for the people. And we should all enjoy it, but also take seriously our responsibility in making sure that this technology is used for good.
Talk to me a little bit about sort of the future, and AI is something that you know a huge amount about, and I love the way that you described it. Tell us about AI.
Yeah, sure. So, AI is predicted to overtake human intelligence by around 2030. So that is within 8 years. And so we can think about AI as being in its infancy now, and we are the parents of this technology. So this baby technology is learning from us, it is mimicking us, and it's watching where we click, where we pay attention, the companies we interact with, the language that we use, and it is mimicking this. But this technology is going to get older, it's going to develop, it's going to become a rebellious teenager, and then it's going to become fully autonomous, making decisions on its own. So we really have a responsibility now to make sure that we are training this new technology to be the kind of colleague, the kind of friend that we want in this world.
But listen, we are at ISE and we haven't been here for a few years. What are the latest trends in technology that are coming out and that we can all be really excited for?
So we're all trying to move to this more sustainable future, towards a future where well-being is at the heart of a human-centric experience. One of the things that I sort of like to talk about a lot is not just the opportunities of these technologies, but also the potential risks. And there are potential risks to that. I mean, on the one hand, we can look at AI as hopefully freeing us up as people to do what we do best. Also to pay attention to things like our mental health, our physical health, our well-being, because as AI starts to play a bigger part in the workplace, what we bring to it as humans as far as creativity, ideation, design, and very importantly, collaboration, how we work together and those sparks when you take people from different backgrounds and put them in the same room and have a conversation, that's something that I think is going to remain human. And companies are going to be able to help to make sure that their employees and colleagues and friends are working at their most optimized level.
Amelia, it's been absolutely fascinating chatting to you. I could chat to you all day, but we don't have time. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Thank you.
You're watching Rise.Live, the official TV channel of ISE 2022. The Digital Signage Summit was one of 7 conferences and summits taking place at ISE this week. I spoke to some of the speakers about the signage market.
So I am a managing director from Accenture. You know, Accenture is a global consulting technology company. And I have been all my career there, working in business consulting, and today supporting retail and consumer goods companies in the digital transformation. All the challenges that we have in front of us, but also all the opportunities on how to digitize and to really change all the retail experience in the store. The opportunity here, and retailers know very well, is to rethink the customer integrated experience online and offline with a digital signage, but also with other technologies that needs to be integrated in a seamless way to provide an experience that will be much more digitalized, will be much more personalized, will be sustainable. So this is what the customers are expecting. This is a challenge, right? They need to transform all these areas in parallel and to do it quickly because we are already there. Actually, more than 70% of consumers are expecting to have this seamless experience, online, offline. But the good news is that we have all the ingredients available. The only thing that we need is to implement them in a smart way. You cannot stay working in the old world, in the old model. You need to evolve for sure. And all this transformation involves investments, but also involves a lot of savings in supply chain, in highly automated operations, in the smart usage of data. So you need to do that if you are a retailer.
ISE 2022 here in Barcelona is packed with amazing people and companies. I was let loose to explore some of the wilder areas of the show. Well, it might look like that I'm here in Barcelona enjoying the beach, but I'm actually at ISE, so let's go and have a look around at some of the highlights. What an incredible experience that was. There are so many amazing things to be seen here and we haven't even scratched the surface. So make sure you have a look around at all the exhibitions here.
The Digital Learning Summit explored hybrid learning and the implications for the industry of this massive shift in delivering lessons. I asked some of the key players in this market about the challenges of change. So you're taking part in this panel discussion, obviously. What is your focus?
I'm passionate about rapid reskilling with wearable technologies, looking into how we can make use of these new technologies to create more engaging educational experiences, where you draw learners inside of the experience, that they live the experience, to get them qualified more quickly, on practical, procedural jobs.
That's really quite something to follow, isn't it? Learning, feeling the experience, Ted.
What I like to focus on is the idea that 2 years ago we sent everyone home for the pandemic. And as they come back, they're very, very changed people. And these are our students, our teachers, our faculty, our administrators. And we're in a period of change right now, which is going to allow us to really begin to implement some of these things we've been talking about for a decade, in terms of personalized learning, in terms of freedom to geographic borders, in terms of reaching out to disadvantaged populations.
Do you agree with that, Ted, saying some people want or like the change? Because actually, I think some people don't like the change.
I agree with that, and I see the resistance as well. So especially if we talk about teachers, for them it's really hard, right? They had to change, it was very rapid, they had to come up with this whole kind of new idea. So there is definitely some resistance, and I agree with you in that. And I think we should focus on how we can help teachers in make their courses more interactive, make students more safe, and focus on these interactions between courses, like how to deliver it, make a hybrid space where students feel comfortable to ask questions, for example, and for teachers to be a storyteller.
There was a huge acceleration in the education industry over the pandemic. Where are we now?
If anything, the pandemic has shown us how badly things work and how well they could be working if we would do the right investments into upskilling of teachers, upskilling also of students, equipping them with the tool set, mindset to with the literacies to make use of digital educational technologies in the right way.
Some really good points there, which I want you to pick up on, Ted, because you mentioned challenges in countries that don't necessarily have the same economic advantages.
First of all, I want to say just how overwhelmed and impressed I am with what teachers around the world did. They had no experience moving into an online world, and they really made heroic moves in order to keep their students engaged and to move things going forward. I think what's coming out of this, however, is, as Ferdinand just said, a deeper understanding of what we need to do to make this kind of education work well across the board. But also, as you mentioned, this ability to break down geographic and economic lines is something that is finally available to us in ways no one would have believed in February of 2020.
So a whole process of transformation now. What is our future going to look like?
Well, to make it very practical and simple, I think the first thing, as we talked about the learnings, is to look at these positive cases that worked in education. So hybrid learning spaces, these immersive experiences. Then see what worked, measure it as well to see if the students have the great learning experience, and then apply them moving forward. And when we do that on a larger scale, I really think that we embrace this hybrid learning, immersive experiences as the future of education in a larger scale.
Well, thank you to all for talking to me.
Thank you very much.
The application of AV technology has begun to transform museums and historic buildings. A panel of experts from the industry gathered in the projection dome in Hall 5 to look at the opportunities. I asked Miguel Molina Montane, deputy editor at La Vanguardia, how the sector is being affected by the rise of the metaverse.
The metaverse changing museum experiences is one of the main focus of this, the main topics of this debate today, because there is the gap between the current situation and the metaverse already. Internet migrating to metaverse, and even our real lives migrating to metaverse, while most of the museums still have websites that are based on models of 20 years ago. So how are we going to fill this gap is one of the topics of this debate.
The ISE Immersive Art Experience in Hall 2 is an amazing art experience, especially tailored for visitors. Rosie, you went to have a look, didn't you?
I absolutely did, and this is what I found. I've come down to the immersive art experience in Hall 2. I can't wait to see what they have in store. Let's go and have a look. This is absolutely incredible. I feel like I've been jumped into the painting, but I'm not the only one that's been enjoying this as well.
It's the kind of installation and technologies that must be looked for the future.
It's really, really good because the pictures are like everywhere, like on the side, on the back, on the ground.
It's amazing, absolutely mind-boggling. It's like a part of the painting.
I think it's very nice and good to meditate and relax.
You can really enjoy and immerse into a new experience.
That's something I've never experienced before in my life. It's so relaxing. It's like you've been transported into the artwork, and it's given the artwork a whole new lease of life with the music and the immersion. Absolutely incredible, and it's a world first here at ISE, so don't miss your opportunity to come down here to Hall 2 at the Immersive Art Experience.
I'm Nadira Tudor.
And I am Rosie Tapner, and you are watching Rise.Live, the official TV channel of ISE 2022.
You can catch up with all our videos on the ISE digital website at digital.iseeurope.org. Watch every video individually in your own time and follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn and Twitter.
We are live at 3 every day of the show. See you tomorrow.